Our next conferee is Ruth Whittaker, also joining us via WebEx.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, please continue.
Great. Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Smith and members of the committee. My name is Ruth Whittaker, and I serve as policy analyst for the Chamber of Progress, a tech industry coalition committed to ensuring all Americans benefit from technological leaps. Our corporate partners include companies like Turo, but our partners do not have a vote or veto over our positions. We urge your committee to support HB 2062, which will close the current preferential property tax loophole enjoyed by corporate rental car companies, generating additional state tax revenue for the benefit of all Kansans. This bill restores Kansas's traditional property tax policy towards rental cars, allowing for more revenue to be directed to the state's small and rural communities. By closing the existing tax loophole, this bill will increase tax revenue and help to fund critical needs in small and rural communities such as healthcare, education, housing, economic development, and infrastructure. This bill would help to stimulate economic growth through local purchasing of vehicles. With the passage of HB 2062, every time the rental car industry buys a car from one of Kansas's 209 new vehicle dealerships, they will contribute to property tax revenue, supporting the local economy and creating additional jobs at local dealerships. HB 2062 would also establish more fair and equitable tax laws. The current excise tax has severe consequences for both residents and rental car companies. The 2010 study that was previously mentioned also found that these excise taxes are disproportionately felt by low-income and minority households who are more likely to rely on rental cars to travel. They also might incentivize residents who are looking to rent a car to travel across state lines where excise taxes are not taken out in order to rent a car, reducing demand for rentals within the state. We believe this legislation will close an important tax loophole and raise critical revenues. On behalf of consumers and in hopes of encouraging a healthy, competitive rental market, we ask your company to support HB 2062. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. My first question, do you know how many states currently do not have an excise tax? I've been doing some research on my computer. I couldn't find it with Google. I didn't know if you had that information.
I don't have that information offhand, but I can certainly follow up with your office.
Okay, thank you. Committee, any questions for this conferee? Representative Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see at the top of your testimony that you are somewhat, Turo is a corporate partner of yours, and your testimony somewhat parallels theirs. So my question is, I'm just trying to understand, the Turo operating model is individuals own these cars and then they're renting them to other individuals. So they're already paying the property tax, correct? And so the impact on Turo would just be getting rid of the excise tax with no offsetting consequence, I guess. Is that right? So they're paying the excise tax and they're also paying the property tax currently. I
think if I understand your question, the individuals who are renting out their cars are paying the property tax, but under the current setup, rental car companies who are, also renting out their cars are not paying a property tax. So this bill would create parity between individuals and, corporations.
Okay, that's the way I understood it. Thank you very much.
Any further questions, committee? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony.